Hey folks, how you all doing? So today I thought I'd run through the vinyl albums that Lynn and I have in our record collection of British slash Australian pop trio, the Bee Gees. They're probably one of the finest purveyors of pop songwriting ship um, in the history of rock and roll. To me, I rate them up there with Lennon, McCartney, Bjorn and Benny from ABBA, and Neil and Tim Finn. I don't think there's anyone else above those three, plus the Gibb brothers, who have been finer songwriters of pop songs ever. Um, Neil Sedaka's up there, I guess. The Everly Brothers are certainly up there, but I think those three that I mentioned, plus the Bee Gees, are just that little bit above most other people. So we have obviously Saturday Night Fever. We both have that on CD. There's compilations. There's a couple of live albums that we've both got on CD, box set compilations, etc. But we end up with 10 albums on vinyl. I know it's not much in the scheme of things, but it's 10 albums you might be interested in looking at. If you're not interested, you can turn off now, but I'm sure there's people that have plenty more Bee Gees albums than we do. First off, we have Odessa. This started off as a compilation album in 1969ish. I've actually done a revisionist look of this album on my channel if you want to go and have a look at it, about what I think of this album as a part concept, part normal studio album. It is a very good album, but yeah, go check out my other video for that one. We picked up this one recently, The Many Faces of the Bee Gees. This is a 2-record set. The first record is the Bee Gees in concert. The second is songs by Barry Gibb and the Bee Gees, which are the Australian years back in the early 1960s before they went to the UK. There is one mistake on this cover. I think you can see it just there. You might be able to see it there. The song is called I Started a Hoke instead of I Started a Joke, so that's a misprint. It is a gatefold sleeve. There are 2 vinyl albums in here, obviously, and it is on gold vinyl. I seem to think it looks more like a light brown than gold, but the experts call it gold, and why not? We'll keep it gold because the Bee Gees deserve gold, platinum, and everything else they get in the music industry. So yeah, I just think they're absolutely brilliant, either as, working together as a trio or working separately. I think they're really good. I'm not a fan of young Andy Gibb, but my sister certainly was. Sorry, it looks like my battery's on low output at the moment. So that's the other disc for that. I don't know why it's unplugged. It shouldn't be unplugged. I always leave it plugged in. I sometimes unplug the actual thing just to sit there in bed and watch it in the mornings when I'm not working. So it's that one. Best of the Bee Gees. Which is a lot of their early material. We have one Robin Gibb album. Lynn seems to think she has a couple of other of their solo albums. I haven't seen them, but she thinks they're packed away in a box somewhere, which is fine. Spirits Haven't Flown. We have one which was from late 1980s from memory. It could be the early 90s. But I seem to think it's the late 1980s. It's a really, really good album as well. Double Gold, which is a great double album. You can pause that if you want, just to see all the track listings. It's had a bit of wear and tear over the years, but it still plays remarkably well. And this one is on the Australian Spin label. It's a short-lived label that was around during the late 60s and early to mid 1970s, which is now defunct. So I guess any album by any artist on that label might be worth a bit of money for someone who's interested in collecting labels. Also have this one. Can't remember when this was released, 1972, so this would have been just after the Odessa album, I guess. I think everybody's got this album. I've got it, my dad's got it, Lynn's got it, I think even my sister has it in her collection. And again, that's the Australian release on the Spin label. Bee Gees' Greatest. I mean, these songs are as good as any songs on any greatest hits album by any artist anywhere. They stand up to the Stones, the Beatles, you name it. They're up there. They stand up as good as any of those by any other artist. And finally, we have this one. Mr. Natural. This one came out in the mid 1970s, so 1973, 74 from memory. And again, that's on the Australian, now defunct, Spin label. Anyway, that's all we have, guys. Just still a decent collection, and there's not a bad song, I don't think, on any of these albums. They're just a consistent band which produces consistent quality of material. As I said, you know, like ABBA, like the Stones, like the Beatles, like the Finn Brothers, etc. You know, it's just quality songmanship. Anyway, guys, leave comments in the section below. Are you a fan of the Bee Gees? Are you not a fan of the Bee Gees? Why not? Do you consider them an English band or an Aussie band? English because they were born in the UK, but they started their career, their recording career in Australia as, you know, 10, 11, 12, 13-year-old sort of thing, and then moved back to the UK once they made it big in Australia. Anyway, guys, stay safe, take care, all for now, catch you around, and bye, folks.